Hello everyone, welcome to day 13 of our 31-day guitar course. Hopefully the last lesson got you a bit quicker at G and F and strumming along. Hopefully that got a bit easier. But yeah, don't worry if you haven't mastered everything yet. In today's lesson we're going to have a go at the riff in Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Which is probably the hardest riff we've done so far. We're also going to be learning a D minor chord to add to your collection of chords now you can play. Okay, so to play the riff in Californication, we need our second finger, our middle finger, on the second fret of the fourth string of the D string. So yeah, make sure your finger's on that string. And then we're going to start by playing the fifth string, open. Then we're going to play the D string, the fourth string, which we've got our second finger on. Then we're going to skip a string and play the second string. So you've got to jump down quite far. Then your first finger, it's going to hang around over here, is going to play on that same string you just played, the second string, but on the first fret. So we're going to go open 2 and then open 1 in terms of frets. So yeah, your second finger's on that second fret, open 2, then skip down to the B string, open 1. And then the timing's like 4 notes in a row. 1 and 2 and. And then we let that ring for the rest of the bar, which is 3, 4. So we're going to go 3, 4. So that's the first part of the riff. And then we're going to come out of that and put our first finger on the first fret of the sixth string. And then we're going to put our third finger on the third fret of the fifth string. Might be a bit of a stretch. This is that power chord shape that we did in earlier lessons. Bring your thumb really low and try and put it in the middle of where you're playing. So like the second fret. And you should be able to stretch then, but yeah, it might be a bit of a stretch. Even if your finger's not all the way over, you might be able to get it working. So yeah, we're going to start by playing those two strings, the sixth string and then the fifth string. Making sure your fingers are down, pressing down, might be stretching out now. Then you're going to skip a string and you're going to go and play the third string, but open. So don't press down on anything. And then the finale, this might be hard, you're going to put your second finger on that same string, the third string, but it's going to go on the second fret, where it wants to go, basically. And again, it's 4 notes in a row. 1, 3, skip a string, open 2 on that third string. Give that a go, see if you can get that one. This part will probably be the hard bit of the riff, so spend a bit of time figuring that out. 1, 3, open 2. Then you put them both together. So you got the first one with your second finger down. And then the second one. It's got 2 beats in between each riff, so you go 3, 4, and then you go to the next one. 3, 4, and then you just repeat that. 3, 4, 3, 4. So that's a riff, and that comes up in all the verses and the intro. And then there's a few chords in the verse, and there's also a pre-chorus and a chorus part which has chords. If you've been following the series, you'll know most of the chords already. So we've got A minor, F, C, G, and then we've got a new chord which is D minor. So to play D minor, you want your first finger on the first fret of the first string, this one down here. Then you want your third finger on the third fret of the second string. And then finally you want to put your second finger on the second fret of the third string. 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret. And then it's just like a D chord. We're going to play 4 strings. My thumb's quite high up actually, it's not really low. It's kind of high up, so yeah, experiment with where to put your thumb. It's probably going to be your 3rd finger that's going to mute the bottom one, so try and get it on the tip of your finger and try and get it out of the way. Like I said before, sometimes just bringing your wrist through slightly can get that finger out of the way. So that is D minor. Do all the same things, take your hand off. Try and get quick at knowing what a D minor is. D minor. So in this song, in the verse, we go from F to D minor. What you want to notice there is your 2nd finger is in the same place. So try and keep that finger down. F, D minor. Keep this finger down. And then in the chorus, we go from G to D minor. That's your 3rd finger being in the same place. So this 3rd finger down here doesn't move. Try and move your 1st and 2nd fingers together. Kind of the same shape. Try and get them to move down the D minor, and then your little finger comes off. And then in this song we've got half notes, the hollow note with a tail. They last for 2 beats. And then we've got quarter notes, the black dot with a tail. They last for 1 beat, so you strum down and then strum down again on the next one. So yeah, test yourself on reading the music as you go along. See if you can play along and figure out the strumming pattern as you go along. If you miss a chord, just go to the next one. So we'll play it along to the metronome from verse 1 and we'll go all the way up to the chorus. And I'll play the riff as well as the chords. Good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play along to that, and if it's going really well, try and play the riff and then the chords without stopping. Good luck. In the next lesson, we're going to learn about dominant chords and playing in 3. So yeah, head to that video now. Good luck.